This game is everything that I thought it would be, and I want to say more, but I think I'm just too early in the game right now, so there are still more things that I still need to see and unlock. It's made such a great first impression, and I knew it was going to make a great impression, or a great first impression, got to it. It's just as addicting as I thought it would be, and I'm pretty sure I've already lost some sleep just playing this game because I was playing it all last night, and while I was working today and while I was just going about my day, I could only just think about this game and how I want to stop everything that I'm doing and play this game. I mentioned it slightly in my Discord server yesterday that I was nervous to start up the game because I felt that if I did start it up yesterday that I was just going to call off of work today and do nothing but play Splatoon all day, which I didn't. I have responsibilities, and of course I was still into work, so there is still a lot for me to play and find out, and I'm glad it's the weekend so I can do that and play this game. But I just want to get my first thoughts out there so you guys have an idea about this game and what my impression was on Splatoon Raiders, though as you can already tell, and from my video where I was super excited about it, this is going to be a positive video about Splatoon Raiders. In this footage that you're watching right now, I'm just going to be showing a little bit later into the game, so it's not going to be the exact beginning of the game. I didn't want to show off any of that stuff because of the cutscenes and the story. I didn't really want to spoil that for anybody, but I'm sure a lot of you have probably already seen it if you already have the game, or you're seeing them online. Probably people are posting them everywhere because these animations in the beginning, the cutscenes in this game are so good. The voice acting is so cute. The animations are so cute, and seeing this on the Switch 2, sometimes I feel like with Switch 2 games, they definitely could have put them on the Switch 1. Sometimes you can tell, like with Star Fox, no way the Switch would have been able to run this. The graphics look so good, and in these cutscenes, they look really, really good. Splatoon, the actual Splatoon Raiders gameplay, like when you're actually playing and you're going around the islands and stuff like what you're watching right now, it looks great. It looks just slightly a little bit better than Splatoon 3, I will say. At some points, I am kind of like, they honestly could have put this on Switch 1, but then with how crazy things get and the amount of salmonoids and all this crap that you see on screen, definitely, I don't know if it would have blew up the Switch or something. The Switch definitely would have overheated. I don't think it would have been able to handle the craziness that is yet to come in Splatoon Raiders, because what you're seeing is pretty tame in this footage. Later on in the game, it gets so crazy that I can't even see what's going on. I will admit, I do get overstimulated and disoriented at points because I have no clue what's going on. I maybe just follow it off of my inputs and what I think is happening. So at some points, it really does get that crazy. I'm sure if you see other people's gameplay, if they post it online, you probably won't even recognize that this is Splatoon Raiders that's going on. You'll probably just recognize it because of the UI. But other than that, you really can't see stuff at points. Like, it's just craziness that's going on, which is awesome. It's amazing, and I love it. I love that kind of crap. It reminds me a lot of, if you've played Risk of Rain, it's kind of like Risk of Rain 2, but Splatoon version, and Left 4 Dead is another thing that I compared it to because of the craziness. Like, there's just points where you are just overwhelmed by salmonoids, and it's so fun because popping them, shooting them with the ink, and just like getting them to explode, and the sound effects and the rumble, like everything just feels so good and satisfying. That's kind of the hook. Like, it's like this dopamine hit. And as far as the controls go, I don't know if you can tell from the footage, if you're a Splatooner, maybe you can tell, but I don't like to play with motion controls. It's a very popular thing. The game even throws you in with motion controls, so I think they want people to kind of play with motion controls. I've never played Splatoon with motion controls. As soon as I get my chance, I disable motion controls because I don't like it. It's just never worked for me with Splatoon. It just feels weird. I don't know. Everyone has their own preference. I have my own preference. It still feels really good. It feels a lot like Splatoon 3. You could almost say there isn't really a difference. I mean, they all kind of played the same. Just the controls always got a little bit better with each game, obviously. But in this one, I feel like it's a little hard to tell whether it got better. I'm not huge on Splatoon either, so I'm not really one that can really speak on that. But it feels good. It feels tight. The controls are really good, and you can customize the sensitivity and do what you need to do, so it'll always feel good based on your own settings. But the graphics are just, they look really great. This is probably the best that Splatoon's ever looked, obviously. Even just on handheld, it looks great. I love the way that Splatoon looks, and I will say, playing on handheld, not very comfortable. And I'm not going to say it's Splatoon's fault, it's the Switch's fault. The Joy-Cons and things, you just feel a little bit cramped, especially when you're playing a precise shooter like this. Thankfully, it's player versus everything. It's PvE and not PvP, player versus player. So it's not really that precise. It doesn't need to be that precise, but sometimes it do gotta be that precise, because if you miss some of these salmonoids and just slip up even a little bit, especially later, it'll just all go to crap very quickly, is what I'm gonna say. So playing in handheld mode, my hands did definitely cramp up. I think the most comfortable I was playing with my Pro Controller. I have the Switch 1 Pro Controller. I never upgraded to the 2. I know a lot of people say it's even better than the first one. I'm sure it is, but I don't see a point in upgrading from the Pro Controller, the regular Pro Controller, because I love the regular Pro Controller for the Switch, and it feels just as nice. So I'm chilling on my Pro Controller, and it feels a lot better, and obviously it looks a lot better on the TV too. So that's mostly where and how I'm going to be playing it, but I still do enjoy it on handheld, and it looks really great handheld. You will lose feeling in your fingers, especially with a game like this where you're just going to want to be playing it all the time, because man, is it addicting. It is so satisfying, even just getting the gems and the collectibles and finding little secrets. Like if you were a seasoned Splatooner, you're gonna find these secrets fairly easy, I will say, but some of these things, like, you're gonna have to think about the puzzles and every single movement, like every single control or ability that they give you. You really have to keep all of them in mind constantly, and that's the best part about like adjusting your gadgets and your weapons, is that you have control over all of that, and you know all of your stuff, and you can throw them out whenever you think is appropriate. And it feels damn good when you're just like in that flow state, messing up these salmonoids and just, am I saying it right? Is it salmonoids or salmonids? I think it's salmonids. So I'm sorry if I'm saying salmonoids. They're salmonoids to me. All right. But just once you get in that flow state and you know your controls, you got gadgets that move and feel good together. And the gadget system that they have in this is really cool. They have 3 different tank abilities, which I probably could have talked about this earlier, but they have the speed, the power, and then the last one's the tactical. Instead of like the grenade that you would be used to in Splatoon where you throw a grenade, the R button is now your ability. And based on the tank that you have of ink, it can change your ability, which is really, it's such a great idea. And for that reason, it makes the game a lot more expanded, I guess is the word. I don't know what to really say. Like there's just a lot more options as far as how you want to play and how you want to Splatoon. And it can be really cool if you have just a team of different tanks and a different ability, like everybody's rocking something else. Even if they're all rocking the same, it might even be overkill. It might be craziness up in that, but it's fun, and it's especially fun with people, even when playing with random people online. I don't have any friends that play Splatoon, or I don't know anyone that has this game, so I've just been playing with random people online, but it's so fun just seeing how everyone else plays. And I did want to say that this game felt like it should have been co-op. I felt like Nintendo kind of advertised this heavily as like a single player game. You can play through the entire game single player. That's always been true. But it just feels like it should have been more as a co-op, because even the deep cut member that comes and follows you around in like this little mech, they be doing their shooting and stuff. And they do it pretty well too. Like they are not just there as whatever. You jump on them and you move around with them and stuff too. It just feels like at that point too, it's just already a co-op game, because you have this NPC or CPU playing with you and attacking with you. As far as the story goes, the story is pretty bare bones, I'm not gonna lie, but it's fluid and it makes sense for why everyone is there. It's definitely a thing where they just need to go from point A to point B. The reason why they're there, the reason why they have these unlockables, the reason why things are the way that they are, it's all explained very well, and it all just makes sense. So no complaints really as far as the story goes. Obviously with a game like this, you wouldn't really expect it to have much of an in-depth story. I mean, it's really just go in and get the treasure and kill the salmonoids. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is literally a looter shooter. I did want to also talk about the tutorial in this game. It is a short tutorial where it's just the beginning level and you go through it. It tells you how to control and how to swim and be a squid kid, and it all makes sense. But I will say it took about an hour for me before I actually unlocked the rest of the game. So like upgrades and also just multiplayer, it took me a little bit of time to get there. If you're already used to Splatoon and you're good at Splatoon, it'll probably take less time. But for somebody who's new, it does technically take a while before you unlock the rest of the game. But an hour isn't too bad. You really do need to kind of understand the mechanics and everything in this game. And I also took my time, so that might be a little bit skewed. I never really cared much about deep cut before this game. I know every single Splatoon game has their own little idol duo group where it was Callie and Marie, and then it was Pearl and Marina, I think was their names. Hopefully I'm not butchering these names. It's been a while since I've played Splatoon, but those were the idols before, and I really liked them, and I really liked their designs. When it came to deep cut, I really only liked the manta ray stingray guy. I didn't really care about Shiver and Fry. I thought they honestly looked weird, and they were like the weakest ones for me, but you really see their personalities and their characters shine in this game. I mean, of course you see that a lot in Splatoon 3. I didn't play too much of Splatoon 3. I mostly just did a bit of the salmon run, and that was like the most fun that I had with Splatoon 3, and then I didn't really pick it up again. So I didn't have too much time with deep cut to even really appreciate them in that game. But in this game, it feels like they really highlighted on their personalities and who they were, and just like their whole treasure hunting side of them. And, you know, Shiver's the boss, Fry is the eel or something, I don't know. But they're all just really cute, lovable characters. You can't really hate on them as much as I was hating on them before, at least. I mean, they're just great in this game, and I love them, and I can't wait to kind of discover more and see more of them as I play through the game. I did notice that I got some repeat weapons, and I didn't know like what to do with it. I was like, why do I have 2 of these weapons, and like what the hell's going on? So hopefully maybe there's some sort of explanation or some sort of thing that I can do with this extra weapon, or maybe I read it wrong and I need to go back and look at it. I noticed I did get multiple weapons of the same thing, and I'm like, what? Maybe they're just different levels? I don't know. It was weird. I can't wait to just go into the weapons and gadgets a little bit more and find out, you know, a perfect system that works for me, because I know at that point that's when I'm gonna like hit the end game, and then I'm just gonna be making these presets and doing all these crazy things, and it's just like Risk of Splatoon, Risk of Rain 2 Splatoon. I am gonna say a negative thing about Splatoon Raiders is that the customization is not my favorite. I wasn't a fan of a lot of the hairstyles and what the characters look like. I thought it was cool, the options that they had. One of the hairstyles was like you could have a rubber ducky in your head and things like that, so it's cool and the ideas are really cool. I just don't know why they got rid of the shaggy cuts in the beginning. They looked so cool, and it's like, oh, choose your shaggy hairstyle, and then they immediately just remove it, and it's not even an option, and it's like, why? They look so cool with shaggy hair. It's just, I love the unkempt, I don't know if it's unkempt, whatever the word is. I love the way that they look. I think it's so cool, and they just remove it. It's like, why at least just keep it as an option? And then the same thing with the outfits. The rumors were true. You can't customize the outfits. It's just a set outfit and that's it. And I don't know if maybe that was their way of squeezing in the amiibo, because some of these outfits are only unlockable through amiibos, which is whatever. I don't care. I can find an amiibo and freaking scan it in. It's not a big deal. I don't even like the outfits that the amiibos give you anyway. It was just disappointing. I didn't like the customizations very much. Maybe I still need to unlock some cooler outfits down the line, but just from what I have and what I've seen so far, I'm not a big fan of the customization as far as like what we were able to do before with Splatoon. It is a little disappointing. It is kind of like a step back as far as the customizations go in this game. That is just my opinion though. You know, if you like it, that's awesome. And if other people, you know, tend to enjoy it and like the customization, that's great. But that's just my opinion, and I didn't really rock with it as much, or as much as I thought I would. But again, the Octolings was really cool that they still had that option that you could be an Octoling, and I ended up choosing an Octoling too because I just thought they had cooler hairstyles and they just looked a lot cooler. I don't like their squid form though. Something about them being round just bothers me. I don't like the Octoling squid form, or like their octopus form, I guess. Let me know in the comments though, did you end up getting Splatoon Raiders? Have you already got it? Are you playing it? Are you planning to play it? What do you guys think about Splatoon Raiders so far? Do you want to see more Splatoon Raiders? Leave a like on the video to let me know, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in your sub feed. That's about it from me for now, and I'll see you guys later.